Hello, this is the Captain Paxo, welcoming you back to some more Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, playing the Turian Havoc this time, because I've managed to be unlocking quite a large number of characters now, so, you know, that's pretty good. Going to be able to play with a lot of different characters, a lot of different setups, a lot of different playstyles. This one is intended to be a weapons specialist, where I use Cryoblast to weaken armor and increase damage that they take, Stimpack increasing my weapon damage, and Havoc Strike also increasing my weapon damage, but it also can detonate certain combos. Though the specifics of that I'm not entirely sure, and that's one of the reasons why I've got incendiary rounds, is because I would like to make some fire explosions, because Cryoblast can set off explosions, but it seems to be pretty inconsistent, especially when lag is involved and Cryoblast just goes through enemies, as it is with this Marauder. Yeah, this is a very laggy match. I'll be teleporting all over the place occasionally, which is going to be very, very frustrating. But with this setup, I'm thinking of either foregoing Havoc Strike or Cryoblast, because I've had to sacrifice the training, and as much as like Havoc Strike is a very powerful ability, you know, it can deal a lot of damage and it can increase your damage output by a decent amount. It doesn't excuse me, it doesn't increase the damage as much as just going for training, as I'm struggling to revive this dude because I am lagging, and yeah, gotta love it, right? Crazy lag. Just so yeah, partially because this is a very laggy match, partially because I'm really bad at this character, and partially because I've got a really bad setup, I am going to be dying a little bit more often than I would like, but hey, we'll roll with it, right? Gotta roll with the punches. As you can see, we're getting some pretty decent use out of the Cryoblast there, freezing those enemies, stop them from advancing. And yes, the general game plan is going to be trying to Cryoblast everything to weaken them so they take more damage, and if they're unprotected, then it'll freeze them, and that'll be pretty nice. And against the bosses, I'm going to be using those Stimpacks to really increase my damage output. Because again, all of my abilities increase my damage output, but they only last for a short period of time. The debuff with Cryoblast, the way I have it set up, I believe it only lasts for about 8 seconds, as does Stimpack, and my cooldowns aren't exactly, how should I say, they're not long, but they're not super short, you know. I'm not playing an Adept, I'm actually using an assault rifle, so I have to deal with that cooldown, unfortunately. So trying to stack all of these damage buffs together to try and get their effects to overlap so that I'm dealing my maximum damage, it's a little bit finicky, so that's why I'm thinking it would just be better to drop like Havoc Strike to go full training. Because sure, Havoc Strike is a very powerful ability and it can increase my weapon damage, but Cryoblast increases everybody's damage because it just increases the damage that the target takes instead of just increasing my damage, if that makes any sense. But I am also thinking about making a melee version of this build, because Havoc Strike and Stimpack can also increase your melee damage. And here you see, hit them with a Cryoblast, activate a Stimpack, hit him with the Havoc Strike, just try and get all of these effects going on at the same time, and just start dealing some decent damage. But it's hard to tell if my damage output is actually half decent because of the lag, you know? So again, I think if I were to drop Havoc Strike for the training, I would be dealing so much more damage than I am, you know? Which is a big shame. You're going to see me using the Stimpacks in some rather questionable scenarios, because I forget that they act as like survival ops packs. Like they recharge your shields instantly, so I'm going to be forgetting to do that. Like right now I should be using an ops pack to be able to stay aggressive by getting my shields back, you know, but it just doesn't occur to me. Also partially because I only have one left and I'm not entirely sure I want to use my last one in order to just keep my shields up. I was in a pretty safe position right there. These targets are kind of getting away from us. You know, we've only got a minute and a half left on this, so we gotta get on these targets. Gotta take them out. I make a rather risky call in going for the Havoc strike, but I figured that the Banshee was distracted by my teammate, and that it was going to go into another animation whilst I was Havoc striking, so I would be completely safe. Not a foolproof strat by any means, but there are times where you can get away with doing a Havoc strike on enemies. Just wouldn't recommend doing it all that often, as I get trapped in a corner and fear for my life, but the Banshee is going after someone else. And lag, yeah. God damn it. What is this? What is this? You know, sometimes I do the heavy melee and it just teleports me back to the center. So it kind of gets me thinking, if I'm ever lagging, I just need to do the heavy melee and then it will reset me and I'll start being able to do damage again. So there'll be a couple of times where I just do the heavy melee at random, hoping that it just resets my lag. It's the most bizarre thing on the planet. I don't recall lag like this really ever occurring, but hey, this is PC, right? New experience. See what's going on. Was that cannibal still attacking me even after he was frozen? This is weird. And I'm trying to get the Havoc strike to get a little bit safe, but remember that I have stim pack, so I can revive myself. Did that guy just rage gel? Really? Whatever. General PSA to not spam Medigels whenever you get down, because you kind of need those, and it's better to save them than to use all of them in the first 3 waves and then not have enough to be able to survive wave 10, you know? Anyway. Damn, I died really quickly there. Just hoping that I don't get dicked over. That guy, I guess, tried to save me, but stuck around a Banshee too long, so he ended up getting grabbed. Not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. But this is the last enemy, so we can kind of take our time with it. Just be careful. Don't get grabbed by it, because it might be the last enemy, but it's a Banshee. It can still fuck us up if we're stupid about attacking it, you know? So yeah. This match gets a little bit close sometimes. It gets a little bit too close for comfort, you know? I'd much prefer to have been playing, well, better, for lack of a better term. But we'll see those moments when we get to them. So Firebase Rio. I don't think we've actually seen, or I don't think I've shown this map off in a video. I gotta be honest, I really don't like this map. I'm not entirely sure what it is about it specifically. I don't like the, you know, the position of power, the power position is like, or the central position, that's where everybody stays. It's super vulnerable because you can get attacked from both sides at the same time, just thanks to how the spawns work. You know, I much prefer to be at one end or the other. I much prefer to be at the cargo end, which is the end that I'm currently close to, because there's a lot of cover and there's a lot of ways in which you can, you know, bait enemies or kite enemies around corners so you're not getting sniped by Ravagers constantly. Because Ravagers are going to be a major issue in this. Stim pack, there you go. As we have a Ravager running around, turning around this corner, and I'm going to start dealing some pretty decent damage. Like, that's one thing that I have to hand to this setup, is it can actually deal pretty decent damage against Ravagers with a Phaeston. Which, considering this is a Phaeston, I think that's pretty good. I did not see this Ravager. Oh no, this is a different one. Wait for its 3 shots, and then get stupid aggressive. Activate Stim Pack, fire Cryoblast, and it's already dead. Thanks to teammates, who's using the Black Widow. Black Widow's another weapon that I'm a bit iffy about. You know, I'm like, it's a cool weapon, but I generally see the regular Widow as being a better, excuse me, a better sniper rifle, because it deals a lot more damage per shot. Sure, the Black Widow allows you to deal more follow-up shots, so it's better for non-infiltrators, but for infiltrators, you definitely want to go with the Widow, because it just deals so much more damage and gains so much more benefit from that cloak. as we've got a Banshee coming up in the center, and there's probably some enemies on the other spawn, so we're going to start getting pincered. Yeah, we're getting pincered. This is why I don't like the center of the map, but people stay here because it's an elevated position, so you can kind of see what's going on throughout the whole map. And I don't know. I don't know why people like this map. It's very straightforward. It's pretty symmetrical. I need to stim. Didn't have enough time. I needed to get out of there so I wouldn't get grabbed, but at the same time I needed to stim. So it was a bit of an unfortunate position I was in. This dude goes for the res, and I've got a fucking floating cannibal. It is just all kinds of lag going on right now. Yeah, I highly doubt that I'm going to be able to get this dude. I lose my shields, and I'm like, yeah, I need to fucking back out of this. There's no way I can actually get that dude. That guy's all off by himself, you know? Stick with your team, right? But unfortunately, the team wants to stick in one of the less defendable positions on the map. If we were down by the cargo crates, we would get swarmed, but we're getting swarmed right now. It's just that we would have a bit of a... We wouldn't get pincered, you know? We could kind of set up a defensive perimeter around the cargo crates so that we could try and push them back so we wouldn't just get pinched like this and we wouldn't end up backing up into enemies, you know? And this guy is using Medigels really frequently when there really isn't much need to. And, you know, again, floating cannibals, thank you, lag, very much. This is a bad position, but I have Havoc Strike so I can save him. And which he gels again, you know? And I'll lose my shields again. Good God. Where did that guy get taken out from? Revive? Thank you. Oh, and this is fun. Trying to use Havoc Strike in the games is like, nah. Or the heavy melee in the games is like, nah. Oh, it's just lagging. Okay, cool. God damn it. Yeah. Not particularly happy about that. So I'm going to be running around trying to grab some more nades, because, yeah, this is a nade character. Are we doing rockets? Taking them out with rockets? Okay, fair enough. Considering how long the last target objective wave went, I think using rockets is a smart idea. I think we got triple targets on in this match, which is very rare, and I'm not too appreciative of it, you know. But we got some brutes, and Cryoblast is just going straight through them. God damn it! This is just me complaining about lag. Really sorry about that, but that is just the nature of the beast, you know. Sometimes you get a good connection, sometimes you get this connection where this dude is regenerating shields as I'm trying to take the hand. There you go. Yep. Heavy melee resets my position, and the position is shit because the center place just gets swarmed, but that's where you go because that's the spawn, because that's what happens when it reset. I don't know. This doesn't happen all that often. Anyway. I'm going to start focusing these Ravagers, though, because they will start absolutely roasting our team in a short while. So getting rid of them is going to become very, very important. And I can take care of them pretty quickly with this setup. I think, again, if I dropped Havoc Strike and went for training instead, then I'd probably kill them a hell of a lot faster, especially if I was using a Cerberus Harrier, but I don't have the Cerberus Harrier yet. That's a weapon that I really, really want to get. I never unlocked it, not even on 360. So getting the Cerberus Harrier would be pretty delish. But we'll see about that. This good old box. That is the box that I hid in when I did Platinum one time. I'm actually hoping to do some Platinum at some point, but I'm really not too sure what character to use, and I definitely need to get some better weapons and better equipment and better gear and better mods and just be able to deal some really good damage. But this is This is a map in which you can play Platinum. It has a specific strategy when you use Platinum. That little box or the crate, the storage container that has the ammo crate in it, I was in it just a second ago. It's actually too small for a lot of the bosses to be able to get in, so you can hide in that box and you won't be grabbed by any of the boss enemies. The only thing you really have to fear with grabs is phantoms, because they can still get in. But if you've got two juggernauts, then they can kind of hold the perimeter and make sure that no phantoms or anything get in, and then whenever things get a little bit too rough, as this guy gets grabbed again, and I'm a little bit too slow on the rockets, yeah, it makes Platinum a little bit more bearable because nobody's going to get grabbed, but I'm not sure if grabs are the biggest fear in the world when it comes to Platinum, because things do deal a hell of a lot of damage. I don't know. We'll see when I start playing Platinum at some point. I've only played one match of Platinum, so it's going to be very, very interesting to try and take that on. Gold is my current domain. You know, I still play a little bit of Silver to level up characters, but it is mostly Gold now, as I have been leveling up most of my characters to, well, partially to get N7, but partially also just messing around with different builds, trying to figure out how exactly I want to play them, and then I'll be playing them in Gold. But I'm looking forward to showing off a number of my builds. I've got a build idea for the Alliance Infiltration unit where I don't use fitness because you don't really need it with that character, because those defense matrices, I mean, they self-res. They're automatic medigels. You activate them, and then if you go down during their duration, then yeah, it just automatically reses you. So you don't really need fitness for that character. At least that's what I'm thinking. I might not be able to play it all that particularly well, but hey, there's something to look forward to, right? As we got two Ravagers on the side, kind of pinning us down, and I'm really concerned about this dude getting grabbed, but I'm not sure if the Banshee can actually grab you when you're on the stairs, because this, I mean, look at this. He's within kissing distance of this Banshee for a really long period of time, but he never gets grabbed. And I've got this rocket out because I'm really concerned about him getting grabbed, but it doesn't happen. So I think I'm going to put this rocket away and actually start dealing some decent damage. I don't want to waste it because it's like, that's unfortunate. I don't want to waste it because a wasted rocket is never good. A wasted anything is never good. And this is a really bad spot. We're all down. I still have some Medigel because I actually fucking saved him and didn't Rage Gel. That was a Survival Ops pack, not a Stim pack, and I run to this corner. This is where things get a little bit interesting, because now it's just me and one other dude who's going to get downed a number of times, but I think he's going to self-res because he just has a lot of Medigels. He might even have infinite gels. I don't know. Still not entirely sure if that's a glitch or I'm just miscounting gels. Yeah, lots of Ravagers. This is a bad spot for me to be in. That's another Survival Ops pack. I'm gonna try and grab a grenade. Another Survival Ops pack. I've got plenty of grenades. I should be using Stim packs at this point. There it goes, and it just dies for some reason. And now it's the Banshee. That was a really bad spot because there was one Ravager on one side, another Ravager on the other, and a Banshee trying to rush me down. It was a really, really precarious spot. Wanted to take care of the Ravagers first because they are weaker, and if you can get rid of them, it gives you a lot more mobility around the map. Because if you don't take care of them, then you're going to get sniped, and especially on a map like that has lines of sight that are this long, you need to take out the Ravagers. Because otherwise they're going to snipe you in the back when you're trying to run away from something like a Brute or a Banshee. And that's the moment where I decide I need to prioritize Ravagers above all else. Because Banshees and Brutes, sure they can rush you down and they can grab you and they can do all that sort of stuff. But on a map like this, you need to take out the Ravagers. And that dude gets grabbed again! Oh my god. PSA, don't hug the Banshees. They don't appreciate it. Oh god, and now there's two Banshees here. I pull out a rocket, but someone has already done that, so plop that back on my back, use a Stim pack to get my shields back, and we're getting pincered because this is a very pinceable position. God damn. Not good at all. And now we've got some more Banshees and we've got some more Ravagers, making running away very difficult. Which you kind of need to run away when you've got a Brute and a Banshee in your face, you know? It's just... Oh, I'm going to get grabbed here. Whoa. God. Dashing all over the place. Oh, I'm so dead. I am so dead. Oh my god. Thankfully I didn't get grabbed, so I can still get rezzed and I can still get myself up. As that dude uses a missile launcher to take care of some marauders. Questionable. And we're on the run at this point. This is a really, really bad spot. I'm very hesitant to use my second Medigel because I only have one left. Somehow I've managed to unlock 4 survival ops packs, 4 rockets, and 3 Cobra missiles, but I still only have 2 Medigel because the game is just like, Medigel's the most important thing in the game. You are only allowed to carry 2. I just can't get the upgrades to it, you know? Very frustrating. So there goes my second Medigel as I was about to get executed, and now we're in a pretty precarious spot. So prioritize the Brute because it's super close to death. It goes down, and now we've got a Banshee chasing us. And then, hey, a Ravager. And prioritize Ravager because fuck Ravagers. They will make your life very difficult. So now I think it's just the Banshee, so we can kite her around, just ring around the rosy, this boxed structure. I'm not entirely sure what this is, to be honest. Control something or other. Who cares? It's a thing. It's cover. We can hide, and I'm getting shot by something. What the hell am I getting hit by? What? What's going on? Oh, very strange. Down goes one Banshee, and we've got a second. Not too difficult, though, because I think this is the last enemy. Yep. So, it's in the bag as long as we don't get stupid. Again, don't hug the Banshees. You know, as bad as it might be to have this mentality, but whenever I see a Krogan Warlord trying to just melee absolutely everything, it just feels so good when they get grabbed by a Banshee, because it's just like, yeah, you can't melee everything. I mean, you can melee everything, but you have to be really smart about it. You know, just going in balls to the wall and trying to melee everything, you're gonna get grabbed. It won't work. Maybe on bronze, but, you know, nearly everything works on bronze. It's fucking bronze. Try that on silver, it becomes a hell of a lot more difficult. Try that on gold, yeah, good luck. Good luck meleeing a Banshee. You will die a lot. Not sure how that hit, but it might just be like phantom range, you know, from Dark Souls, where on his screen I was still in range, but on my screen I wasn't. But because on his screen I was in range, the hit still connects, because, yeah. Oh, God. Get some damage out there. There we go. Again, prioritizing the Ravagers. And that guy dies to, what, Banshee? Where from? Wow, that was a long-range shot. Where's this Banshee going? Not too sure, but we'll take it out nonetheless. I think there's still the Ravager going around. Oh, no, Biotic Explosion just got a Ravager, so... No, there's still a Ravager. God damn it. Get my shields back. These stim packs are amazing. And that actually just doesn't give a shit about me, so I'm going to focus this Ravager. Because it needs to be focused, because, yeah. And you can see that Havoc Strike does deal some really good damage, as I managed to avoid that projectile from the Banshee. No, not that one. God damn. God, evading the projectiles from the Banshees is so finicky. Like, it's so difficult to tell with the connection that you're on if you need to dodge just instantly or if you need to dodge late. Like, it's all down to the connection, and I really wish it wasn't trying to disjoint the homing, but that's just the way it is. But this is just a Banshee, and we are a Turian specialist, so we can jetpack whenever it gets way too close, so it's really not going to be a threat. Excuse me. Really not going to be much of a threat at all. Just don't don't get stupid. Whenever she gets into an animation, like a long animation, I can use a Havoc Strike. That's some pretty decent damage and increases my weapon damage as well. Other guys have got the Banshee to deal with, so I'm going to deal with this Brute because it's a Brute, and I would much rather they deal with the Banshee without being interrupted by the Brute. I think that's pretty fair to say, don't you think? So there we go. And there's probably a Ravager somewhere. I think there is, right at spawn, the central thing. Can I see it? No, I can't see it. That dude keeps getting down. Like I said, like in this yeah, there's a Ravager. In this game, there were so many downs going on, and I can't get the fucking Havoc Strike to click for some reason. But there we go. I managed to get some damage output going, get my my stim pack going. There is actually another Ravager, and I didn't spot him. He's down the stairs, and I go down. That's just one of those instances, and I don't have any more money to go. God damn it. So that's just one of those instances of, like, I just didn't know. You know, spatial awareness, should have really been paying a hell of a lot more attention than I was. And I wouldn't have made that stupid decision. You know, just pick away at it from a distance. I have Cryoblast. I have a Phaeston. It's a good long-range weapon. I should have just taken my time because there was that other Ravager. I had no idea that there was that other Ravager there, and I got stupid. So, mistakes were made. As this guy is going to have to deal with, well, just one more enemy. Just the Ravager. I believe he is the Adept, the ex-Cerberus Dragoon Adept, because he's using Singularity. And that smash was pretty good, pretty damaging ability. Right, and what wave are we on? 10! Wave 10! Targets, and I decided to pull out the rockets because I remember the last 2 times that we did this, it was quite difficult. And this time we only have 1:45 to be able to do this. Then we get some more time when we kill the targets, of course. But I noticed that these other guys are rocketing these bosses, so I decided I'm going to save my rockets because you never know. I thought I had 4 rockets. What did I use? Oh yeah, I tried to save that dude from getting grabbed, but I was a little bit slow. That guy's really prone to getting grabbed. So again, Ravager. He's going to be causing our team a hell of a lot of problems, so I'm going to try and take care of it, but I don't have a good angle on it, so I'm just going to harass this Brute instead. I'm thinking about leaving this Ravager on extremely low health, so that when we take care of the bosses, we can kill it and it won't respawn. You know, because when you're doing an objective wave, until you complete the objective, yeah, I'm just going to missile this. Make it a little bit easier. During an objective wave, enemies will constantly respawn until you complete the objective. And that guy Jills again. Why? He was in no danger. We were right there. Stop doing it. Holy shit, dude. What is your problem? Do you not mash the spacebar or something? Because that's how you stay alive when you get down. You mash the button that it prompts you to. You know, if you don't, you're gonna fucking bleed to death incredibly quickly. I don't know. It was very strange. Very, very strange. There's not really much you can do about it, you know? Oh, I'm in a really bad spot, so I need to take care of this Marauder before I do anything else. Because Ravager's almost got a line of sight on me. Now he's definitely got a line of sight on me. Oh, this is really bad. I'm gonna die again. Ooh, Jesus. That was a really close stim pack. I almost died. There was like 2 Brutes, a Banshee, a Ravager on me. Jesus. I had to jetpack past that Banshee, trying not to get grabbed like that. Dude, again! Stop getting grabbed! Oh my god. Grab City. This is insane. And that dude's down as well. God. This is not good. Like I said, I really don't like this map because the lines of sight are so long that if there's any sort of sniper, you're going to end up getting pinned into a corner, essentially. Like, we're getting pinned into the cargo area. So, you know, fucking... Ah, dear. Thankfully, this area is rather safe from Ravagers and snipers and the such, so we can take care of this Banshee pretty safely. I'm going to use a stim pack so I don't get killed by the biotic warp. I think it's warp that the Banshees use. Oh dear. There we go. Gold challenge. Unknown map, unknown enemy. Vice versa, as it pops up. But I don't have any fucking Medigels. I have 1 stim pack left and 2 rockets. Or 1 survival ops pack, sorry. I can refill on stim packs. 3 stim packs. And here, yeah, just focusing on those Ravagers because they will cause so many problems if we don't take care of them. You know, but these brutes are, they're a big fan of blocking these shots. Thankfully, I think that the teammate with the Black Widow is helping me with, helping with the Ravagers. Because the brutes can be kited, whereas Ravagers just have to be avoided, you know? Just don't be in their line of sight. This is bad. There we go with the stim pack. I was kind of thinking, like, am I going to use a stim pack? I probably should use a stim pack. Get my shields back, allow me to stay on the offense, and deal some pretty decent damage. Oh, getting caught on a box. Not good. Getting chased down by 2 Banshees. They get split up as well, so it could make running away from them a little bit interesting. Hopefully this dude doesn't get grabbed again. Why did I fucking open my mouth? Why did I open my mouth? God damn you. You couldn't just stay alive for 1 wave. God. Shit happens, you know. I can't be too harsh on him because shit happens. So we managed to get a partial extraction. This is the tactic that you do, by the way. You send all of the enemies to the other side of the map, and then at the last 20 seconds you bolt to the evac, because evac is clear at that point. You know, you don't have to hold it, you don't get swarmed, you have an escape plan, basically. You know, you set up fortification in one location, and then when it gets overrun, you can retreat towards evac. Whereas when you're at evac and it gets overrun, you have to stay in evac or you won't get extraction. So, makes things a little bit difficult there, huh? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that bit of a clusterfuck of an episode. A little bit different, I suppose. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.